Yeah, 5 minutes away from the first on course in the $25,000 Lövsta Future Challenge 7-year-old final. Yeah, first round time allowed is 80 seconds for our 7-year-old final. Again, 80 seconds first round time allowed, 5 minutes for the top of the order. And top of the order on the move for $25,000 Lövsta Future Challenge 7-year-old final. After a season of top sport, we are delighted to present the Lövsta Future Challenge final with the common vision highlighting the importance of providing young dressage and jumping horses with the best possible conditions to develop on their way to the highest level of international sport. Lövsta Future Challenge has been honored to present the developmental tour for young jumping horses. And the Lövsta Future Challenge is about searching for knowledge and reaching for perfection, embracing the joy of partnership between the horse and rider, and leaving a sustainable footprint within the equestrian sport. We wish all the finalists the very best of luck. 25 to show, and the first round of the final will have a 2A format. We'll jump everyone off after we've seen all of our combinations for round one. And that first round track is numbered 1 through 12. It's 15 jumping efforts in total, and a time allowed of 80 seconds for the first round of the $25,000 Lövsta Future Challenge 7-year-old final. First of our 25 to 7-year-olds for the final will be Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, a Belgian warm-blood mare bred by Natalie Dean, owned by Marigold Sport Horses. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, sired by Jean-Pierre Z, out of the mare Chapeau S, goes back to Casantos. Gavin Harley and the iron. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, the first of 25. Reference time is 78.341, but the four-fault score coming in there for Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious and Gavin Harley, with the knockdown coming at B of the triple combination. Shannon Hayes aboard our next 7-year-old. This is the Belgian warm-blooded stallion Spider-Man by Dolphin and Bijot, out of Quadra L. And the dam sire Toulon for the Pony Lane Farm entry, Shannon Hayes with the ride aboard Spider-Man. Yeah, it's a clear round, and just within the 82nd time allowed there for Spider-Man and Senate Hayes at 79.315. Yeah, so the Pony Lane Farms, Spider-Man and Senate Hayes have posting our first clear. Our two reference times so far at 78.341 and 79.315. Both of our first two 7-year-olds are finishing within that 82nd time allowed here for the first round of the Lövsta Future Challenge, our 7-year-old developing jumper classic, the final of our series here at the Winter Equestrian Festival. 2-8 is the format here for our 7-year-old final, so should we get another clear round here, round number 1, it'll be Senate Hayes and Spider-Man coming back first for the jump-off. Yeah, third in our first round order will be Alpine Z. Belgian bred gelding by Aska Z out of Enchalina, who was hired by Canadian River. Owned by Hinkley Horses, shown by Lily Alice Forager, and the 7-year-old Alpine Z, our third to show. Yeah, with the 3 knockdowns, it's a score of 12 for Lily Alice Forager and Alpine Z. Next, the 7-year-old Dutch warm blood mare Nina VC by Highway MTN. The mare Weena V and the sire. The dam sire, Anomalous R. It's an entry owned and shown by Victoria Colvin, our 4th to go First round of the $25,000 Lövsta Future Challenge 7-year-old final. That's clear, just makes it within the 80 at 79.774 for Nita VC and Victoria Colvin, our second to go clear. And round one of the $25,000 Lövsta Future Challenge, 7-year-old final, assuring us of a jump off a little later on. This is Johan FSZ, as Hangers out of Gelding by John Doe out of the mare Scratchy, the dam sire Diamant de Semilly. Major wager entry, piloted by Brian Mokri, our 5th on course for round one. $79,006 with the fault-free effort there. 3 now clear round one of the $25,000 Lövsta Future Challenge final. Celso Ariani aboard our next 7-year-old and the Italian-bred mare Special Symphony by Special to Muse. Out of the mare Sinfona, the 3rd, who goes back to the Lana Silvano. Celso Ariani, Special Symphony, our next 7-year-old up, owned by San Marino Stables. No jumping faults at 2 on the clock for the San Marino Stables Entry Special Symphony and Celso Ariani, the time 81.986. Finds a spot in 4th early behind our 3 that are clear for today's Lövsta Future Challenge 7-year-old final. Kevin Gallagher next with a 7-year-old owned by Richard Kirby. The Dutch Red Gelding Ninja BF by Chacon Blue out of Pearl, who was sired by Ferro. Nina BF bred by John Van Den Bosch. Kevin Gallagher with the ride for Richard Kirby. This is our 7th to go Ninja BF. $77,861 on the penalty-free first round for Richard Kirby's Ninja BF and Kevin Gallagher. Four currently on the clear list, and Molly Hay has the ride aboard our next 7-year-old Tangilo Wirozi. It's Angers had a gelding by Tangelo van de Zutuva out of Carla, who was signed by Kari Nuhar, 8th to go. Molly Hay riding for the owner Gabriel Enright. This is Tangilo Wirozi. That's a clear 77-32 for Tangilo Wirozi and Molly Hay, bringing our total number of clears up to 5 now for round 1 of the Lövsta Future Challenge 7-year-old final. Welcome, Eleanor Koonsman on course next with our 9th 7-year-old to go for round 1. The Oldenburg Mare Coverina Blue PS goes back to the lines of Cornetto Belinsky and Shaco Blue, owned by Glen Eden LLC, Chester, New Jersey. Coverina Blue PS. Yeah, the four jumping, the knockdown at the Lövsta Future Challenge, vertical at 10 for Eleanor Kunzman and Coverina Blue PS. 3 on the clock at 82.337 to finish on 7. Seven-year-old owned by the Glen Bay Farm and bred by M. Stevens. This is Dominance Z. Captain Brian Cornon has the right aboard the Zangers Hade Gelding by Dominator 2000 Z out of Jean-Louis Dusons, who was sired by Flores TN, our 10th to go for round 1. Dominance Z. One on the clock there, 80.266, single time fault for Dominant Z and Captain Brian Cornon. Lacey Gilbertson aboard our next is 7-year-old NSYNC K, owned by Seabrook LLC, Lake Forest, Illinois. And the Dutch bred mare by Emir R out of Hart, and the dam sire Creed. For the 7-year-old NSYNC K, Lacey Gilbertson has her on 11th for round 1. 5 clear so far. That's a clear for Seabrook LLC and Triensink K and Lacey Gilbertson. 77,384, that clear time, giving us sixth fault free out of 11 here for round number one. Owned by Lynn Parker of Ocala, this is Lövsta Fortuna. And Dutch warm-blooded mare by Come Fortuna out of Singapore. It's Tina Yates in the irons, our 12th to go for the first round. $79,258 on the clear round for Lövsta Fortuna and Tina Yates. Seventh 7-year-old to qualify for the jump off here in the Lövsta Future Challenge final. Our 7-year-old developing jumper series. Up next is the gelding Arezzo Z by Air Jordan Alpha Z out of Unique. And the dam sire Negro Juan Manuel Bolanos riding for the BZB barn. For jumping at 9B, a 1 on the clock, the time at 80.90 for Juan Manuel Bolanos and Arezzo Z. Next 7-year-old, both owned and shown by Jacqueline Roule. The Self Francais Mare Icon Dossi. Sired by Diamant de Semilly, out of the Mare Osine. And the dam sire Dollar de la Pierre, Jacqueline Roule, owner and rider of our 14th 7-year-old for round one, Icon Dossi. Clear round to 78.127 for Yvonne Docine and Jacqueline Rule. 8 now qualified for the jump off and today's Lövsta Future Challenge 7-year-old final. This is the Belgian warm blood mare Ouija by Kanan out of Esther. Bred by Classic LLC. Paul O'Shea has the ride for Team Eye Candy. Paul O'Shea and Ouija going clear. And 9 now qualified for the jump off. $25,000 Lövsta Future Challenge. 7-year-old final. Springsteen will be the first of our 10 remaining 7-year-olds before we adjust for the jump off. Carly Stevens out of Foothills, Alberta, the owner and rider of the Belgian Warm Blood Stallion by Diarado out of Believe in Me. 16th for round 1. Faulting at fences 7 and 9A. One more on the clock as well. Just over the time allowed at 80.012 for Carly Stevens with her own Springsteen to finish on 9 in round 1. The Lövsta Future Challenge 7-year-old final. Up next, the Zangers had a Stallion Big Dream and owner Brian Beerbaum. Sired by Big Star out of the mare Kitana Z. The dam sire Kiram de Ravella for the 7-year-old stallion. The owner Brian Beerbaum has the ride. This is Big Dream, 17th to go. Clear it is, 77, 795 there for Big Dream and Brian Beerbaum. 10 clear, another 8 to show. This is Stella Gold up next in the order. Kelly Arani riding for the Marigold Bay Farm. German Sport Horse mare by Staccato Gold out of Diamond Sky. It goes back to Dia Casal, Marigold Bay Farm entry. Kelly Arani, the rider. This is Stella Gold up next for the 7-year-old final. Up next in the order will be Escanos Girl Z and the owner Luis Fernando Laranzabo. This warm blood mare comes from the lands of Aska Z and Lordanos. Escanos Girl Z and the owner Luis Fernando Laranzabo. 79-162 makes it within the time allowed, but it does finish on a 4 there for the Marascanos girl Z and the owner Luis Fernando Larrazaba. This is the Eichendorff horses owned Northern and Tani Mara Macari are next up. Dutch warm-blooded gelding, sired by Rocco Blue out of Aphrodite. Yeah, the names are Cantos for the Eichendorff horses entry. This is Northern. Tani Mara Macari has the ride. First of 6 remaining in round 1. Score of 477-544. That first round time just outside of our top 12 there for Tani Mara Macari with the Northern. Goodine House entry, a kind of blue PS, and Ansgar Holtgers Jr. first to 5. Oldenburg gelding by Pikachu de Muse out of Chaco's Whiz Kid, who was sired by Chaco Blue. With the ride for Goodine House LLC, Ansgar Holtgers Jr. with the 7-year-old, a kind of blue PS. For jumping, the knockdown coming at 8 of the horseware combination for Ansgar Holtgers Jr. with a kind of blue PS, so 1 on the clock with that time of 80.805. Charlotte Jacobs aboard a Dutch warm-blooded stallion by Comme Il Faut. This is Nadim Il Faut, owned by North Star, East Aurora, New York. First of our 4 remaining 7-year-olds for round 1, sired by Comme Il Faut out of Intercina. The dam sire Kanan of North Star's Nadim Il Faut and Charlotte Jacobs. On the fault-free round there, 76-962 for North Star's Nadim Il Faut and Charlotte Jacobs, 11. Clear round 1 of the Lövsta Future Challenge 7-year-old final. Another 3 to go before we set for the jump-off. And the first of those 3 will be a ride from Michael Hughes. This is KMS Ali. Irish sport horse gelding owned by the Sweet Oak Farm. Comes from the lines of Tyson and a Heartbreaker. KMS Ali with Michael Hughes in the irons. KMS Ali, Michael Hughes going clear. The 12th combination to do so here for the Lövsta Future Challenge 7-year-old final. Michael Tuckeruk has the ride of aboard at Not Party for the owner Tomasa Sanchez of Kissimmee, Florida, the first of our 2 remaining 7-year-olds for round 1. Yeah, from the lines of Not Party and Doctro, Tomasa Sanchez owned entry, Not Party, Dutch warm-blood gelding, piloted by Michael Tuckeruk. The Tomasa Sanchez entry not Bardi, Michael Tokaruk on the clear round there. 74.082, 13th 7-year-old to qualify for the jump off. Fresh off of guiding a 5-year-old to championship honors here this morning. It's Cormac Hanley up next. The ride for Heathman Farm with Santiago Vinet-Netterhoff. The Belgian-bred gelding by Untouchable out of Renaissance Vinet-Mullenhoff, who was sired by Diamant du Semilly. Final for round 1, Santiago Vinet-Netterhoff and Cormac Hanley. Just makes it within the 80 at 79.713 for the Heathman Farm, Santiago Vinet-Netterhoff. And Cormac Hanley will wrap up round 1 of our Lövsta Future Challenge 7-year-old final with 14 7-year-olds qualified for the jump off this afternoon. As we wrap up round number 1, we will expecting back 14 of our 7-year-olds from the first round. Spider-Man and Sin and Hayes will be our first combination back, followed by Nina VC and Tori Colvin. Johan FSZ, piloted by Brian Mokri. Ninja BF and Kevin Gallagher going 4th in the jump-off order. That'll be followed by Tangelo Uirozi and Molly Hay, Insync K and Lacey Gilbertson in that 6th spot, followed by Nulavska Fortuna and Tina Yates. Jacqueline Rowley Condosine will go 8th. Paul O'Shea with a Ouija will follow Jackie Rulini Condosine, and that'll be followed up by Big Dream and the owner Brion Beerbaum. 11th in our callback order in an email foe, Charlotte Jacobs. It'll be KMS Ali and Michael Hughes going 12th. Nat Pardee and Michael Tokaruk, the penultimate combination, and Santiago Vinet-Netterhoff and Cormac Hanley, our final duo over the short track this afternoon for our $25,000 Lövsta Future Challenge 7-year-old final. The vision of Lövsta Future Challenge is to create a sustainable footprint within the equestrian sport. And our Swedish National Series, the carbon footprint for all competitors and officials travel to and from competitions is offset. Each year, a company or an organization is presented with the Lövsta Future Challenge Environmental Award for their work with sustainability. We strive to be an inspiration for a more sustainable equestrian sport. And we're back underway, 14 to jump off this afternoon for the $25,000 Lövsta Future Challenge 7-year-old final. Pony Lane Farm entry up first, owned and bred by the Pony Lane Farm. This is the Belgian Warm-Blooded Stallion, Spider-Man by Dolphin and Bishop. Sin Hayes has the ride with the first of our 14 7-year-olds for the jump-off. Double clear in the final for the Pony Lane Farms as Spider-Man. And as Sin Hayes, the jump-off time 43.025. Yeah, so we've seen the first of our 14 7-year-olds in the jump-off round and today's $25,000 final. Exciting news this year is our Grooms Award also for the Lövsta Future Challenge. A total of $3,000 will be awarded to the top 3 grooms at the final this week. Owners, breeders, riders vying for honors. Grooms also here for the Lövsta Future Challenge. Our second up in the callback order, this will be Nina VC and Tori Colvin. Victoria Colvin, also the owner here of the 7-year-old Dutch warm-blooded mare by Highway MTN out of Weena V. Time to beat is 43.025. Jump off round clear, 43.767 comes in just off the pace there for Nina VC and the owner Victoria Colvin. Spider-Man and Sin Hayes still with that time to beat at 43.025. Third 7-year-old for the jump off is Major Wagers Johan FSZ by John Doe out of Scratchy. Zangers had a gelding is shown by Brian Mowgre, our third of 14. Time to beat 43.025. Oh. 42.628, he does it, goes into the lead there, Johan FSZ and Brian Mowgre with their new time to beat Spider-Man Sin and Hayes. 41 seconds flat to clear. Jump off round for Richard Kirby's Ninja BF, Kevin Gallagher, and that takes a little over a second and a half off of that time from Johan FSC and Brian Mowgre. Kevin Gallagher, Ninja BF, leading through the first 4:14 in the jump off round for the 7-year-old final in our Lövsta Future Challenge series here at the Winter Equestrian Festival. Brian Mowgre now second with the 7-year-old Johan FSC. Spider-Man Sin and Hayes, our third place combination at this point in the jump-off round. Fifth in the jump-off order is Tangilo Uirozi, owned by Gabriel Enright. Zongers out of Geldinga, shown by Molly Hay, sired by Tangelo van de Zutuva. "41 seconds flat, the time to beat." Yeah, final fence down in the jump off. It's the 4 at 15 for Tangilo Uirozi and Molly Hay. With the 4 faults goes into 5th for Tangilo and Molly Hay. Seabrook's NSYNC K, a Dutch-bred mare by Emir R, as shown by Lisa Gilbertson, our next to compete. Time to beat is 41.000, set by Ninja BF and Kevin Gallagher. "48-0-98 on a score of 4 in the jump off. The slower of the 2 4s goes into 6th for NSYNC K and Alicia Gilbertson. Seven-year-old owned by Lynn Parker, shown by Tina Yates, the Dutch-bred mare Lövsta Fortuna. by Comfortuna. Next up in the jump off round, 41 seconds, time to beat. Ninja BF Kevin Gallagher still leading. (42.494) with the 4 at 5 over the jump off course for Lövsta Fortuna and Tina Yates. Second fastest 4 in the jump off goes into 6th for the Lynn Parker entry. So Francais Mary Condosine by Diamant de Semi and the owner Jacqueline Rule up next for the jump off. Target time still at 41 seconds, posted by Ninja BF. The Richard Kirby entry shown by Kevin Gallagher. Going into second place on the clear jump off round at 42.139 for Condosine and the owner Jacqueline Rule. Ninja BF Kevin Gallagher leading, Condosine Jacqueline Rule going into second, Johan FSZ Brian Mogri currently in third. The Belgian Warm Blood Mare Ouija by Kanan up next, bred by Classic LLC, owned by Team Eye Candy, shown by the Irishman Paul O'Shea. Time to beat, 41 seconds. It's up at Ninja BF and Kevin Gallagher. Four at B of the horseware combination, 41.631. The time there for Ouija and Paul O'Shea. Fastest 4 falter in the jump off goes into 6th. With 5 remaining on our callback order for today's $25,000 Lövsta Future Challenge 7-year-old final. The Zongers had a stallion and Big Dream. Brian Beerbaum, owner and rider of the 7-year-old stallion from the lines of Big Star and Kiram de Revel. Our first of 5 remaining, 41 flat, still the time to beat. 41.849 with the 4 coming at number 15. It's the final fence and the jump off down for Big Dream and the owner Brian Beerbaum. That'll go into 7th place as our second fastest 4-faulter over the jump off track this afternoon in the 7-year-old final in our Lövsta Future Challenge Developing Jumper Series. This is Nadim El Fo, the Dutch warm-blooded stallion by Comel Fo, out of Intercina, who was signed by Canaan. North Star entry, piloted by Charlotte Jacobs, and the first of our 4 remaining in the jump-off round this afternoon. Leading time of 41.000, set by Richard Kirby's Ninja BF and Kevin Gallagher. And a new leader coming in at 39.367. It's North Stars at Nadim El Fo and Charlotte Jacobs taking the lead here by nearly 2 seconds in the 7-year-old final for the Lövsta Future Challenge Developing Jumper Series. Ninja BF Kevin Gallagher now in second, Icon Docine and Jacqueline Rule into third. Another 3 combinations to challenge. This is KMS Ali, an Irish sport horse gelding by Tyson, owned by the Sweet Oak Farm, shown by Michael Hughes. 39.367, the new target. Lead changing hands, 37.8 to 88. That shaves off a 2.5 seconds from the time that was just posted by Nadim El Fo and Charlotte Jacobs. KMS Ali, Michael Hughes now leading for the Sweet Oak Farm. Nadim El Fo, Charlotte Jacobs into second. Ninja BF, Kevin Gallagher occupying that 3rd place spot in our standings with another 2 to go over the jump-off course. This is Napardi, owned by Tomasa Sanchez, the Dutch warm-blooded gelding from the lines of Apardi and Indoctro, piloted by Michael Tokaruk. They'll chase that time at 37.888, just coming in from KMS Ali and Michael Hughes. Double clear today, and it's currently in 3rd for the Tomasa Sanchez entry. Napardi and Michael Tokaruk at 39.567. KMS Ali, Michael Hughes still leading. Nadim El Fo, Charlotte Jacobs keep their spot in 2nd. Michael Tokaruk takes over 3rd for the owner Tomasa Sanchez of Kissimmee, Florida. with the Dutch-bred gelding Not Party with just the one left for the Lövsta Future Challenge 7-year-old final. Earlier today, Cormac Hanley guided the 5-year-old Pavarotti to the blue ribbon in the Classic, sponsored by Mainstream. He's our final rider here for the jump off. Our final 7-year-old Santiago Nettehoff, owned by the Heathman Farm, the Belgian-bred gelding by Untouchable. Time to beat is 37.888. For the jump-off round on the time of 39.360 with the knockdown coming at fence number 5. There for Cormac Hanley with the Heathman Farm, Santiago Nettehoff. That will finish in 9th as our fastest four-fault combination over the jump-off track here for the $25,000 Lövsta Future Challenge 7-year-old final. Top call today will go to KMS Ali and Michael Hughes. Michael riding for the Sweet Oak Farm. Taking the Irish Sport Horse gelding by Tyson to top honors. And our final for the 7-year-old Developing Jumpers Series, Nadim El Fo North Star entry shown by Charlotte Jacobs will take 2nd. 3rd award will go to Not Party with Michael Tuckeruk piloting for Tomasa Sanchez of Kissimmee, Florida. Richard Kirby's Ninja BF and Kevin Gallagher will take 4th. 5th award goes to Icontosin and the owner Jacqueline Rule. And 6th, the Johan FSZ. Brian Mowgray rides for Major Wager, LLC, Flower Mound, Texas. 7th to Spider-Man, Sinan Hayes for the Pony Lane Farm. And 8th, Nina VC and owner rider Victoria Colvin. 9th award goes to Santiago Nettehoff and Cormac Hanley. Santiago owned by the Heathman Farm. 10th, our second fastest four in the jump off, Team I Candy's Ouija and Paul O'Shea. Big Dream in 11th, piloted by the owner Brian Beerbaum. 12th to Tangelo Wiro Z. Molly Hay up for the owner Gabrielle Enright. 13th, Nulaska Fortuna, owned by Lem Parker of Ocala, owned by Tina Yates. 14th award, it goes to St. K. Lacey Gilbert, sent aboard the Seabrook LLC entry here this afternoon. Lövsta Future Challenge is a well-established Swedish concept for talent development aimed at young Grand Prix horses and U25 riders in both dressage and jumping. Our stated mission is to help bring Sweden to the forefront of equestrian sport and to become a role model for other aspiring equestrian nations. Lövsta Future Challenge is a development tour for 7-year-old horses with a vision to provide the best possible conditions to develop on their way to the highest level of international show jumping. In addition to the $25,000 final this year, we are also offering $3,000 that will be awarded to the top 3 grooms at the final this week. The vision is to create a sustainable footprint here for the Lövsta Future Challenge and the Swedish National Series. The carbon footprint for all competitors and officials travel to and from competitions is offset. Each year, a company or an organization is presented with the Lövsta Future Challenge Environmental Award for their work with sustainability. We should strive to be an inspiration for a more sustainable equestrian sport. Here to present, we have Antonia Axon Johnson, owner of Lövsta Stederi and a founder of the Lövsta Future Challenge, and Tina Wilhelmsen Sylvan to present to our top 3 horse and rider combinations and their grooms as well. Top 3 back with us, and your third place 7-year-old coming up for photos, piloted by Michael Tokaruk today. Your third place 7-year-old for the Lövsta Future Challenge final, the Dutch bred gelding Napardie by Apardie out of Jadine, who was sired by Indoctro. Entry owned by Tomasa Sanchez of Kissimmee, Florida, shown by Michael Tokaruk. Third place in the 7-year-old final, Napardie. In the common vision for the Lövsta Future Challenge, highlighting the importance of providing young jumping horses with the best possible conditions to develop on their way to the highest levels of the international sport. Nadim Elfo, our next 7-year-old up for photos. Charlotte Jacobs aboard the North Star entry. And Nadim Elfo, a Dutch warm-blooded stallion by Com Elfo out of Intercina. The dam sire Kanan. Second place honors this year going to North Star's Nadim Elfo and Charlotte Jacobs. And your winner, a 7-year-old owned by the Sweet Oak Farm and piloted by Michael Hughes. From the lines of Tyson and Heartbreaker, the Irish sport horse gelding KMS Ali will take top honors for the $25,000 Lövsta Future Challenge 7-year-old final. And thank you to Antonia Axon Johnson, owner of Lövsta Stederi and founder of the Lövsta Future Challenge, as well as Tina Wilhelmsen Sylvan for being on hand for our presentation. We'll have our top 3 on a victory gallop led by your champion 7-year-old KMS Ali. Michael Hughes riding for the Sweet Oak Farm. In second, North Star's Nadim Elfo with Charlotte Jacobs. The Tomasa Sanchez entry, Napardie and Michael Tokaruk taking third.